Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Friday evening here in Moscow, Russia. The time is just after 6 p.m., and it's been a very nice day here in Moscow. I'm not sure where everybody is in the world and how the weather is, but today has been beautiful. Yesterday also, blue sky days. Today, actually, now in the last hour or so, the clouds have come over and maybe even some rain tonight. But it's been a very nice day. I just went for a little walk to the shops to get dinner before the live stream, and I had an ice cream on the way back. If anybody follows me on Telegram, I posted a photo of the ice cream that I had. I stopped for a little ice cream break on the way back to the house. So I hope everyone's having a good day, and the live stream is coming through nicely for you. I thought we'd have a live stream on a Friday. Normally they're Saturdays and Sundays. And today being the last calendar day of the month as well, I thought I'd try and end the month strongly for views and thumbs ups and all of the metrics that make up YouTube. So I hope everybody's happy to be watching a live stream. A little bit lost for words. I don't always have a plan of how I'm going to start the live streams. So yeah, if you're here watching, post in the comments. Let me know that you're all good. And hopefully the sound and picture is coming across nicely as well. There is the option, there's a cog where you can actually change the resolution of the playback as well. Sometimes when you watch a video, it might default to a lower resolution. So you do have an option of changing that to make it better. And also, it seems a little echoey in here. I just moved around a couple of things in the background, and I wonder by moving things if it's made it a little bit more echoey in here. I'm not too sure. Yeah, there's a few people watching already live, and we have 38 thumbs up or likes. So thank you so much. A lot of people do put them on there before the live stream. So if you might have clicked and then left and perhaps come back, thank you so much. Yeah, there's a few people who said hello already. Nikolai, you're more than welcome, everybody, to post comments, chat away. If you actually want to chat to somebody else who's chatting, you can put the @ symbol and then start to type their channel name, and then it will highlight on their screen. And then if you actually even do like @Traveling with Russell, for instance, or @somebody else, then that person will see it on their screen highlighted as a reply to a comment that they might have made, if you want to do that, of course. Nikolai, hello. I watch every video of yours and I love it, or love them. Thank you so much, Nikolai. That's very nice. Ursula von Kruger, hello. There is already a crowd here. There was a few people here earlier than when the live stream started. I was actually ready I posted there 14 minutes early. I went out and came back a little bit quicker than I thought. So, David, hello. Oh, actually, Adequate Xiaomi guy is here as well. I know you posted before David, so you were like 1 minute apart with posting. I hope everything is good with you. David as well. I saw lots of nice photos. If anyone does follow me on Telegram, there is a channel where I post photos and videos and things like that. And then there's a chat that's linked to it. And David is very active in the Telegram chat. So if anybody wants to follow along with me there, I post a lot of photos when I'm doing things during the day, not necessarily maybe related to what I'm filming, or generally it is where I go somewhere. Reaper Games, good to see you again. Thank you so much. What's up, Russell? Not a lot today. I've had a day at home today. I had a long day out filming yesterday. Well, I had a long day out, and I made a video while I was out. And then I actually stayed at this convention that I went to, and they actually had a concert as well. It was really a lot of events going on at the one place, so it worked out good. I got home very late, though. I thought I was trying to be a little bit organized getting home on the train, and I thought I'll get a taxi from the convention place to the train station, and then I'll get the train home. So I knew the schedule of the trains, and then the train I was on decided to end the route like halfway along on the way to my place. And then I was like a little bit panicked, like what time's the next train? And then I went up, I had to change platforms. And the next train came straight away. But I think other people that got off my train probably didn't make it to the other train. So come to Belarus, you can stay with me. Oh, thank you, Erica. Thank you so much. I need to fly to Belarus because I can't come by car, because you need to only, as an Australian passport holder, I'd need to actually cross the border by aeroplane, not by car, which is a bit of a shame because it's only 6 hours from here to the border, which is kind of a long way, but not really in terms of whole countries. Peter, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. And you can actually put thumbs up on people's donations, by the way. 2 people have put a thumbs up on it. I don't think, can I actually do that as well? No. Only everyone else can. So good sound and video, all good, mate. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me know. New York here. Stephen, nice weather here too. You sound fine. Thank you. I always think it's just a little bit echoey in here because there is furniture in here, but there's not a lot of furniture in here. It's set up as a bit of like a bedroom / where my computer is all set up here. There's quite a little bit of a setup on the other side of the camera that you can't see. There's a whole lot of stuff on the desk here that needs tidying up as well. Yeah. Oh, there we go. You see it works. When Peter did that, it'll highlight on David's screen and then it highlights on my screen. Oh, you don't see it highlighted there, but may I ask what kind of visa you have? I also want to go to Russia, but for a longer period of time. I have a residency visa now because I'm married to my wife. I originally did come here on a tourist visa. So depending on the country you're from, they may offer some kind of a length of time on a tourist visa. I think typically it's 30 days, 90 days. And then I think even Americans get up to 3 years. Depending on what country you're from, they may have a different, generally it's like a reciprocal visa agreement with the 2 countries. So whatever, for instance, Australia offers Russians, then the Russians offer Australians, if that makes sense. Yeah, and then at some point I changed, and then I ended up coming here on a family visa because it's longer, and then I came here on a business visa because they offer that where you've got a longer time that you can stay in and out of the country, because I was still working at the time for the first few years. You know, obviously, if you're married to somebody or you have kids, they do have a simpler scheme for the migration to come to Russia. But you can still do it without being married, without having children, and, you know, things like that. Hello from the Florida Panhandle. Hello to Louis. Hello. How is Florida going? I enjoy your videos. Thank you, Guinea Pig. Guinea Pig Refuge. Maybe you were on the vidIQ stream. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Maybe your name is on there. I follow a live stream every week, usually on Tuesday nights for me. And it teaches you about how to get better at YouTube. And I think no matter how big anybody's channel is, you can always learn something more or find something to implement that would improve what you're doing on YouTube. Frank in Liverpool. How's it going? I actually watched that game when the coach was it last week? Was it the weekend before? And they had the final game of the season. I can get the sport in English language sport. So most of it's Sky Channel Sport or Fox. So I can watch any football. Well, I watch mostly football. Well, soccer, it would be for Australians, but football. Then Australian rules football. I watch darts, golf, and tennis. Now is the French Open on right now. Nipo, hello in Sweden. Nice to see you. Your food-related videos. So now I get hungry every time I see you. Oh, thank you, Sailor. Yeah, I've not done. I need to go back and do a supermarket video. I've not done one for a little while. A lot of people love them. It's kind of a thing, right? There is an amount of people who love those, and then a lot of people don't like them. So with the weather being good, I need to get outside like I did the video there at Gorky Park. I am a new sub from Las Vegas. Have plans to change my channel to travel. Well, that'd be kind of cool. There's a ton of stuff you could do about Las Vegas travel. Obviously, all the hotels and things like that, and even hotel room reviews or resort reviews where you can book like the cheap hotel in any resort on the Strip in Vegas, and then do some kind of a review just walking around, or how convenient it is to get there or park there, or things like that. Yeah, you've got unlimited content there in Vegas because you live there and you know the area. I mean, maybe you don't live near where the strip is, but you'd have a lot of knowledge about where things are or how logistically things are from, say, the airport to the hotels. Cucumbers. That's a bit random. Thanks again, Peter, for the super sticker. If anybody does want to support the channel, there is a few different ways you can do it. Depending on where you are in the world, you can do super stickers and super chats on a live stream. And you can ask questions in them as well if you like. Then depending on where you are in the world, if you're watching any video any time of the day or night, there is the super thanks option where you can put a donation on an individual video. That does happen maybe a couple of times a week to my videos, which is always nice. It's really, really very nice when I see them. So, and then the easier way is with donation alerts. There's a pinned comment there. If you are in Russia and you're watching from Russia, I didn't see anybody mention they're in Russia yet in the comments. Donation alerts works, and that actually works for pretty much anybody in the world. With that one also, you can put your name and a comment, or as a lot of people like to do, they put anonymous. And actually, probably the last time I did the last live stream was 10 days ago, because that was where the last donations were. And then someone donated 1 day ago, anonymous again. Because actually, what happens is the way donation alerts works, it's basically an instant payment to the creator. Well, reasonably instant, about 12 hours delayed from the donation going to donation alerts to then going to the creator. And I saw on my phone like notification today. I'm like, who sent this? And now when I open donation alerts, but I can't thank the person or individually because it says anonymous. Yeah, and then also if you do have SberBank, or in Russia you can do bank-to-bank transfers, and a lot of people do that for content creators as well. And quite often I wake up in the morning and I see a small message, and with that one you can put a message, but most people it's just their name. And generally I don't know who they are, but it's just a thank you for the creator. I don't like to be always saying like it's about me. Creating the channel is me doing that, of course, but it's creating videos for you guys to watch. And hopefully you enjoy the content and the varying content that I do, because there is not exactly a niche on the channel. There kind of was for a while where I was going to supermarkets and shopping centers. And then I've kind of just tried to diversify it a little bit as well. Oh, you'll pick me up at the airport. Thank you, Erica. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I can stay with you. And I'm pretty sure I could go to some Belarus supermarkets and see some typical Belarus supermarkets. I've been learning Russian for a month. How long did you take for you to be conversational? I'm not conversational fluent, and I've lived here a lot of years. I don't have as much interaction with people. Like, for instance, today I went to the supermarket. I went to the butcher's to get some pork ribs. I'm going to do ribs in the air fryer afterwards, after the live stream. And my local butcher knows me because we go to the same one all the time. So he knew what I wanted. I just kind of pointed to it and he knew how to prepare it for me. And then I went to another little supermarket, to Pitorichka, which is my very common supermarket that I've made a lot of videos in. And I grabbed what I want, and it's just tap and go payment, right? And I didn't talk to a single person. I just said hello to the butcher, said hello to the lady at the cashier at the supermarket, and that was it. And that was my whole day today, because I didn't have any plan to go out anywhere. So, because I'd pretty much been out for, well, 5 days out of 6 doing videos or creating content for future videos. Whoever, anonymous again, but hello from Dagestan. Baka, hello. Здравствуйте. Thank you, anonymous. When donation alerts come on, I've got a pop-up on my other window, which basically shows where there's a donation. But I don't talk about the donation because I don't think it's necessary. So where actually somebody did one, oh my gosh, 37 days ago, I can scroll up and down here and see all the others. And, you know, it's like anonymous. and it's amazing. I love it. Well, I like the fact that people appreciate the content. So to you in Dagestan, thank you so much. I think Dagestan, there's a lot of guys that love like MMA and boxing and mixed martial arts. And I think there's a lot of famous Dagestani fighters. I've been learning. Oh, okay. Dobro utra. Oh, dobro utra. Yeah, it's kind of good afternoon now. It's 6 p.m. here. Actually, I didn't get home last night till it was after 2 a.m. So I must have been, I know I was on the second last train. And because that train didn't go to the very end and then it stopped and changed, I ended up getting, and then normally what I do when I get to my local Prelivka station, I can walk home. It's about 20 minutes. It's probably 15. I thought, I'll just get the taxi because it's literally a couple of dollars at the most. And then the taxi kept booking and then it kept canceling. I think the driver just didn't want to come, or he was, I don't know. So I kept booking it and it kept like assigning a driver. And a few seconds later, it kept canceling it. So I'm not too sure what was going on with that. I don't really know people's salaries, including deductions for health insurance and pension. I wouldn't really know individual salaries of people. That would be very difficult to kind of even make a video about or talk about. I mean, I guess you could look up on something like there's hh.ru. I think it's called Headhunter, hh.ru. And that's one of the websites where you can see job postings. And if you've got it on a desktop, it will actually translate for you from Russian to English. Train is also okay for you. Oh, well, I don't want to ever risk that idea in case it's not possible. Because I have driven across the border. I didn't really technically drive across the border. I went with my neighbor. I've talked about this a couple of times. And he was going just to the bank for a few hours. And I thought, I'll go along with you, right? I mean, it was be a good drive with the boys. It was actually me and my neighbor and his friend, 3 of us. So we actually had a good time, on the way driving there and driving back. And then when I showed my passport to cross, basically it's just like a drive-through border. They were a little bit confused because they probably hadn't seen an Australian passport in a while. And they said I had to wait at the border. My neighbor went to the bank and came back. It wasn't really a problem at all. And I actually walked to the truck stop on the Belarus side. And I had lunch and waited for my friend to come back. Yeah, so I'm not too sure about the train, but maybe it's a case with the train because they've got maybe a better immigration kind of transfer, like between country system. New subscriber, Mark, hello. Loving catching up on your videos. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of old videos now. It's about 2 years worth of content. So, Cozy City. Greetings from Ufa. Oh, Ufa. I should be able to read Ufa there. My wife is from Ufa, from Davlekanova region. Well, it's Ufa region, but it's Davlekanova. Maybe you know that place. Actually, I made a Pitorichka video there as well. And going back to the start of my channel, so if you actually search the videos by oldest first, one of the first couple of videos on there was me going to the local Saturday and Sunday market in Davlekanova. Back when I didn't really know what I was doing with YouTube. Sabi, thank you for the comma. From Olympia, Washington. I appreciate your channel. Thank you. Olympia, Washington State. Wow. That's way over on the West Coast. I've been to Victoria, Canada. I went to, oh my gosh, we did the cruise from Los Angeles up to Seattle and then also to Vancouver. And we did the Alaska cruises. I was working on cruise ships. I'm sure we went to somewhere I don't remember. Where is the Goonies filmed? Wherever the Goonies movie was made, we stopped there. Astoria, that's Oregon, not Washington. Oregon, Astoria. All about Liverpool FC. You might enjoy every Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, thank you, Frank. Wow, got my words. I was going to say thank you, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Well, that's pretty cool. You do a podcast. Maybe it's a live. That's pretty cool. You do that. I've not been to the YouTube training thing, but I would like to join as I have a new channel. What is the name of it again? So the YouTube channel is called vidIQ. vidIQ. They do a lot of non-live videos about YouTube. So you could watch other videos. There's a ton of content on that channel, and it teaches you about YouTube. And then basically at around about this time, or a little bit earlier, every Tuesday evening, let's call it, they do a live stream where they review people's channels. And you can actually go back and watch the last live stream. There was one a couple of days ago, and then last week and the week before. And they just basically pull up people's channel on the screen and then talk about it and give a bit of information. Full-time YouTuber. This channel's only going for 2 years. I did have a cruise ship YouTube channel, which I probably didn't realize at the time that there was a massive potential to do videos about cruise ships. And then when I came to Russia, I was a little bit stuck with what to do. And I thought, well, I'll just film my life here in Russia. And a little bit of the success of it came down to the right titles, the right thumbnails. That's really kind of one of the first things that's important, to really have the title and the thumbnail in your mind before you turn your camera on. So for instance, I went to a Las Vegas hotel for the night. If you put that as your title, wouldn't really be overly searchable and findable and discoverable. But if you put, Stradivarius hotel review, then, a lot of people would type certain words into search to find certain content. And that's where, if you look at a lot of my titling, it's not vlog style titling. It's mostly titles that are place specific or something specific, like Russian typical supermarket. And then normally now I'm putting the name of the supermarket afterwards, or Russian typical apartment. I mean, that can be quite general. So that Russian typical is a bit of a theme. And then where I've gone to certain things, like I went to Gorky Park in the last video. It's very hard to come up with a title for that because you could use quite a lot of different words. So this channel's 2 years old. From sunny Finland. Yeah, I guess we've got all nice weather in the neighboring countries at the moment. I can't read Russian. So if you type in Russian, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I love your channel and always watch your videos. Seal. Thank you so much, Seal. Очень приятно. Mary Elizabeth, hello. Thank you for is that clapping? I can't see which one that is. I can't see. You'll show me everything. Wow. Love your videos. Thank you. XIYAL. You are a very positive, easygoing guy. Yes. This is me all the time. My wife thinks that sometimes my batteries need pulling out for me to be not so positive and not so happy and not so worried about life and everything. Russell. Riku, thank you. Take some Russian classes. I probably should. You're not so late. It's okay. You can always scrub back and watch from the beginning. And then, or you can just watch the live stream as it is. Perfect stranger. Hello. Is your wife Russian too? Yes, my wife is Russian. Yep, she's actually out today. She went to her doctor's appointment. She might come back during the live stream. She knows what time it was starting. So she may just literally walk in any minute. I know she was on the train earlier when she called me. Yes, she's from Ufa, Bashkortostan originally. Do you miss Australia? Melbourne was nice. Perth was a bit boring. Oh my gosh. Now I won't even answer your question because you're talking about the city I'm from. I'm from the boring city of Perth, or WA, Western Australia. And WA always means wait a while because we're a little bit boring. 6 o'clock now already, right? The lights get switched off in the city. Everybody should go home and go to sleep. Melbourne and Sydney is a lot more populated and a little bit more vibrant and a little bit of a different culture there. Perth, we're a little bit bored. We are a little bit boring. My wife even will admit that as well. That it's, little bit quieter and more relaxed and not as exciting and full of drama in Perth. Do I miss Australia? Not really. I miss my family and my sister and her family and, things like that. I don't have a car in Russia. I mean, I don't really have a need for a car. I miss going for a drive in a car and just getting in the car and going somewhere and then coming home, I don't miss Australia as a country. I think that's probably the main thing. I mean, I could easily get on a plane and go there and get over it and then get back on the plane here. But yeah, as a country, I don't miss it. And Frank, have you ever come to Canada, Ontario? I've been to Canada as in the port cities on the west and east coast of Canada. I was working on cruise ships that sail out of New York up to New England, and we went to St. John and Halifax. So we went to St. John and St. John's, New Brunswick, and then Newfoundland on the east coast, and then on the west coast, I just remember Victoria. We went to somewhere else on Vancouver Island as well, but I can't remember. And Vancouver, and then Halifax, Victoria, Canada, and then Vancouver, Canada. So I've only really done port cities in terms of Canadian places that I've been to. Do I root for any European football clubs? I just watch football generally, and I will see whatever match is on at the time, like tonight or whatever day of the week, and then I'll just watch usually one of the bigger matches, so maybe like the Premiership, the Premier League for England, and then maybe where the UEFA, what was it called? UEFA, I don't even know these names when I'm thinking about them now. Champions League, these sort of matches. So I don't have any specific team or club. I'll just sort of watch whatever the bigger matches are. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit like that. We get on the bandwagon of watching, the big clubs and not follow the small clubs. Found your channel recently. Just returned from a trip to visit my girlfriend in April. Fell in love with Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Ryazan. Oh, nice. Hope you had a good time, Scott. And it was all that and a bag of chips, as they say. And I mean, obviously, you went to different cities, so it's a little bit of a different feeling in different places. Yeah, I hope it was cool. I mean, obviously, it can be challenging if you're not used to going to other places. Maybe, for instance, a lot of people from Perth have never traveled. They might have gone to Bali and back, and that's it. And maybe Sydney or Melbourne. And then to come to a European country or to Russia, it's quite a dramatically different place, right? So, are you worried about life? Not really. What exactly are you worried about? Kind host. I'm not worried about too many things. Worried about making the pork ribs later. Now we've got this air grill, air fryer. It's like a bit of a game changer for easily making things. I also do these like garlic mushrooms in there as well. And I bought mushrooms at the supermarket too. That's how many things I'm worried about. And the fact I've got 3 videos to put on the channel in the next week. And I've downloaded them now from the camera. I filmed the last one yesterday. I went to a retail future night, which was talking about the future of retail. A little bit hard to film because it was more of like a conference, but hopefully it'll come out okay. I also went to a earth moving and heavy equipment convention. That was huge, by the way. I was only went to one day of the 4 days. Today was the last day of it, and I went to the first day a few days back. So if you like earth moving equipment or heavy equipment, I did a bit of a walk through the outside section, which was big enough in itself without even going inside any of the main halls, because most of it was about spare parts and about truck equipment and all the things that are associated with construction industry. Did you quit your job? No, I didn't. I was working on cruise ships back a few years earlier, and then basically COVID ended my career on cruise ships. And then I went home to Australia, and then I got part-time or casual jobs, actually not technically part-time, casual jobs in supermarkets doing merchandising. So my background is in retail and supermarkets and selling. So I went and did that for pretty much probably almost 2 years, year and a half, pretty much during the exact COVID time. Then we came to Russia after that. And when I came here, essentially without a job, I had to figure out what to do. And I thought YouTube might be a good idea. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend just quitting a job and starting YouTube, because it's very difficult to get to the level of earning an income which is more than maybe what you're currently earning. I mean, I wouldn't do that. If I was to start again, I probably wouldn't do that either. I'd do it as a part-time thing, or as a thing on the weekend or on my days off kind of thing, and work on it that way. If I was to do it in Australia, for instance, and have a job, I mean, it'd be difficult to do it, because where I don't work now, technically, I have a lot more time just to basically schedule what I want to do and go to film when I want to or need to. I am from Perth. Yes, perfect stranger. It's beautiful, but 4 p.m. everything is closed for Russian. It's so unusual. Yes, you know what I mean. I do. But beautiful ocean, beaches, and parks. Yes, that's exactly my wife's answer to the same question. She was also always. I always had to remind her about like the supermarkets closing, or the shops closing 5 or 6 p.m. Some of the supermarkets now are open till 8 or 9, depending on the shopping centers. But yeah, she was always a bit taken back by that, realizing like we had a local butcher there. My wife couldn't get used to buying meat at the supermarket. So we actually found a butcher that had very nice stuff, probably too nice, but I had to constantly remind her about, oh, this is going to close at this time. Oh, it's not open on Sundays. Oh, today's Monday. This is not open. So yeah, completely understand your comment. Do you do an important job showing normal life? Yes, I was told that a couple of times yesterday at the retail convention that I was at. I think it was a convention. They called it Future Night. Future Night. Future Night, it was called. There's some beer coasters. I took one of them. I took 2 of them home, actually. And for some reason, I've got the plastic cutlery. I don't know how that ended up. My wife emptied out my bag when I got home last night, or this morning, and brought them and put them on my desk. So I don't know why I've got cutlery. Are you planning to go back to Australia eventually with your wife? Did she visit? She's been to Australia a few times. She has residency for Australia. At some point, we will go back for an extended stay because of her citizenship. We need to just fulfill a few criteria for her citizenship to get her Australian passport. It's quite simple to do it and apply for it and things like that. We just need to be in the country to do it. You can't easily get on a plane to Australia from here. There's no direct flights. Well, there never was direct flights, ads. It's always through Qatar with, or Doha with Qatar Airways, or Dubai with Emirates, or now there's Chinese airlines. You can go through Shanghai or Beijing. So yeah, there was never direct flights to Australia in the history of flying. Qantas now does do a London to Perth. I think it's London to Perth flight. They still should do it. One of the longest flights in the world. But even Qantas was connecting through Singapore when Qantas did these routes as well. So yeah, and even if I was to go to America from Perth, I'd have to fly through Sydney or Melbourne and then do the connecting flight to LA. So yeah, even there was no direct flight. So yes, you can. I will stand by the fact that you can easily fly to Australia. You can book a ticket. You can get on the plane. You can fly there tonight or tomorrow or whenever you want to. So yeah, it is easy. I know it may not sound it to somebody else, but for me, working on cruise ships and traveling and, happily looking up, and I over plan things when I go somewhere. I really prepare and over plan. So I know that everything is possible somehow. Seeing as I'm from the UK, it seems to be a bit of a challenge considering the world's affairs right now. Well, not really. You can also fly with Turkish Airlines through Istanbul, or I think Serbian Airlines through, I guess, Serbia. So yeah, you can still well, I'll say easily again, there's a lot less flights through Europe, but definitely Turkish Airlines comes right to Vnukovo Airport, which is down the street from where I live. I'm 12 minutes from the arrivals taxi pickup to my house. Moscow is not going anywhere for 800 years. So yes, James, thank you. Love your apartment tour videos. Would love to see you do a Russian house tour, like an independent house, not an apartment. Yeah, it's just a matter of finding people who would let me film. Not really everybody, even friends and family, don't really like the idea of me filming something. A lot of people miss the idea of me just filming for the sake of a video, for the sake of content. And they're worried that, I'm going to show something or give something away or something. So yeah, it's not as simple as I would really love to. I mean, even real estate agents are not so forgiving in saying, come and film this, come and film that. If anybody in Moscow would like me to come and film their house or apartment, please just contact me and I'll happily come and make a video and talk about it and things like that. Saskatchewan, Canada. I watched your Gorky Park video and like the dancers and how big the park is. Yeah, it's actually a lot. Mark, it's a massive. I didn't show more than, well, I wouldn't even say a quarter of the park. You can walk for hours and hours through that park and then onto the next park, which is bound by Voroviva Gore. And then where is Luzniki Stadium? Or if you go the other direction towards the center, you'd go. There's actually another park across the road called Muzon Park, which is really nice in itself. I should do a separate video about Muzon Park. It's kind of the park next to Gorky Park, and that's a beautiful park as well. Apparently, so the young guy that was on the guitar, apparently he's famous in Russia. Now, literally, I kind of walked past where that busker was, and literally, I wasn't filming exactly when the young guy, he was on his scooter. He got up to the guy and said, "Can I play?" And he's like, "Okay, let me play." And he played a song, which is pretty much what I filmed. And then he got on the scooter and rode off. And if you read the comments or translate some of the comments, he's apparently a famous, young, talented actor, singer, performer. And he literally just got on the scooter with it. I guess he was with his mum and sister, I think, looking. If you see where he just rides off, you can see them there. And then the guy that was the busker went over to him to show the video that he filmed of him. And then there was another girl. You might catch it in a couple of points where she's got like a selfie stick. She had long blonde hair. And she was making, I think she was doing a live stream. I'm not sure. I did notice it a few times because we were kind of walking the same route. I kept sort of trying to get her out of the shot, thinking that we were going to be in each other's shot. And apparently she's a famous Twitch streamer, which is kind of Twitch is a platform that people do mostly gaming on. And she was famous as well. People pointed that out. I did notice her in my video because I did see her in the corner of my eye as I was walking around, but I didn't know who she was. Which experiences you received in Australia helped you to go on in Russia? I don't know how that question works. I'm not sure. I guess my wife helps me out with a lot of things when I can't do things here. That's probably the main thing that's the experience of things. So where I can't do something, she will do it and she'll figure it out. She's very independent to do things on her own and can do a lot of things that I wouldn't expect her to do, It takes a while to get to monetization on YouTube. So you need 1,000 subscribers and then you need 4,000 hours of public watch time. So if you made a 1-hour video and you got 4,000 views, okay, that would be it. But naturally, not everybody watches for the full length of a video. I mean, I'm sure even everybody watching now doesn't watch all of my not live videos, but my long form content. The watch time on a video is a lot less than the actual full video that's put on YouTube. I mean, I would say probably for the 2 years, it would be at least the first year there was virtually no earnings from it. YouTube is not simple. I'll tell you honestly, it's not. I mean, I could tell you all of the things to do. I mean, I could coach. It's something that I could probably do. I could coach people about YouTube, and I could even do kind of a paid, like a video call or a screen sharing where I talk you through. This is for anybody watching, not necessarily yourself, Casino, and talk you through some of the do's and don'ts and the right things and wrong things to do. And then you've got to rely a little bit on the YouTube gods as well. You know, I mean, even if you look at maybe my last 5 or 10 videos, I mean, there's differing amounts of views on different videos. So, for instance, the video where I went to Park Pobede or Victory Park, where I showed the tanks, so that video did very well. And then for instance, the park video now is picking up momentum and it's getting better with views. I mean, my view count of individual videos very rarely passes my subscriber count, unless it's kind of certain videos. I mean, if you go back and look at search by most popular, of course, over time they will. But not everybody resonates with every video I upload. You know, not everybody, maybe, like even in the comments now, some people are saying they love apartment videos. Some people like shopping videos. Some people like park videos, walking in the parks. I mean, I like all of them as well. It's just finding a balance of doing the right video at the right time. Kuzminki. Actually, I was thinking of going to Kuzminki shopping mall again. You visited the new shopping center near the park. Yes, Wayne. I was going to go to, I inquired today with the lady from Kuzminki shopping mall. The lady that's in charge of the shopping center messaged me, well, right after I made the video. So she must search on YouTube for Kuzminki mall videos. And she thanked me for making the video. And then I asked her about the opening of the Eurospa there. There's a big supermarket they're going to open, but it's not opening for another 2 more months, apparently. May, June, July, they said. She messaged me back today, actually, because I was thinking I should go back there and film that supermarket now. But yeah, the park is nearby there as well. Kuzminki. Is it called Kuzminki Park? So maybe I can go and film a few more park walking tours. Someone actually mentioned Ismailova Park in one of the comments of a video today. I like to spend about an hour a day going through comments, and there's a ton of comments to catch up on, and it's impossible sometimes. But you can have dual. So that you can carry both passports. Yes, my wife definitely wants to get her Australian passport. We've gone through all of her residency steps and stages. Yes, you can hold 2 passports if you would like. Hello from Samara. Здравствуйте. Hello. Am I planning to go back for good? I mean, the thing is, I don't always like to say my plans because people suddenly start unsubscribing because they're here to watch Russian content. And if I say I'm going to live in Australia forever, then everyone won't want to watch Australian content. And even I think I'd struggle for the channel to be get as many views now as it would if I filmed things in Australia. I'd have to come up with a very creative type of content. Are you originally from Australia? I'm from Perth, Australia, yes. I do correct my accent a lot to make it easier for people to understand. And I tend to speak, probably doing the live stream, I speak a little bit slower than when I'm doing the videos where I'm talking and walking. And I just make it sure that it's easy for people to understand the language. If I talked, actually, I met a guy from Australia in my town last week. And we went out for the afternoon. And we talk very fast with each other. And if I did that, it'd be hard to understand. And for the greater audience who watches the streams. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who's done a like on the video. 106 thumbs up or likes. It's more likes than people watching. So that's really nice of you. Whoever has clicked it. Thank you so much. And we've got 88 people watching live. If anyone plays bingo, that's two fat ladies. Is 88. Anybody play bingo and know all the different bingo calls? Two little ducks, 22. Legs, 11. I know lots of them, but they maybe not everybody. And then thanks also to the two people who do donations as well. Thank you to Peter. Peter, I think he's, yeah. Peter ZW or VZ. Thank you so much. And to Anonymous on donation alerts. Thank you also, whoever you are. I think everyone taunts me by doing anonymous donations just to make me think who everybody is. So, and everybody from the small country of Ecuador. Marco, we get all our every banana in Russia is from Ecuador. So in every supermarket video, every video you'll ever watch on YouTube where you see a banana that's on a Russian created video, they're Ecuadorian bananas. So thank you for your bananas. It's very nice. There was a little time where there was a little challenge in I think it was this year or last year, where the governments had a bit of a disagreement for a little while, but it was soon smoothed over, and then the bananas were coming back to Russia again. So yeah. So it's actually a very well-known country for anyone that goes to any food market in Russia for the fact that the bananas are from one place. Greetings from America, Sketchy TV. Thank you so much for the greetings. And also again in Finland. Thank you so much. Enlight Pro, one of the Gorky Park bachata dancers. What? Thank you so much. Maybe you're the person that I met and talked to. I talked to a couple of different people, by the way. Two different. Well, one person actually kind of jumped in while I was filming. Then I ended and just stopped it, and then we chatted afterwards. But I definitely met a YouTube subscriber who was there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Americans have been deprived. You've got some nice parks. I wouldn't say. I mean, I've been only to a few inland parts of America. I've definitely been to Central Park in New York, and I've actually done it while I've been on the cruise ships on day visits. I've gone over there and then got back on the ship, and that was my day. Whenever we were doing New York turnaround days on the cruises, I'd make sure I went to one place every time, because you can't go to from, say, 8 or 9 in the morning till about 3 p.m. You can't do anything really much. So, stream. I would like to stay with you guys and listen to the stream, but I must go. No worries. You can always watch it on catch up later. Did I ever want to give up YouTube? Not really, no. There's a couple of days every month where I'm a little bit. My wife thinks I get depressed and get depression, and it's normally on my days when I don't go out filming, when I end up staying home to do work about the channel, and my wife thinks I've got depression. If you're in depression, because sometimes not every video is getting a lot of views, and no matter how much you think your video is good, it's everybody watching, you guys who are the audience. That's the critical part about YouTube, because you have to like the video or like the thumbnail, like the title, like the content creator, and want to click and watch that video. And there's a lot of what an awful music bachata is. But if you watch the video, Marco, I mean, there was merengue, bachata, there was a few different styles that people were dancing. And then on that evening, every evening at the moment, they're doing it, by the way. It's just that time and place and minute, and that you see it. It's very cool. Must be not safe attending Russian stream. No, people can watch from everywhere. Come on. Not a problem. It doesn't matter where people are watching from and doing. Non-Australians don't understand Aussie slang either, as well as exactly. Well, especially when we start talking quicker and shortcutting some of the words and things like that. Hello to Nepal. Tenzing Norgay, the very famous Sherpa that climbed Mount Everest many times. Write to me. See you in Minsk. Thank you. Well, you have to write to me, kind of. I don't know who's writing to who. Aussie is totally okay. Scottish, that's impossible. But it's just a matter of a Scottish person speaking slower as well, so that you can understand. I mean, if they talk quickly, then it can get a little bit confusing. Actually, no, they only allow dual. It's like single. You can't have dual citizenship. Yes, depending on the country. They only allow it with Spain. Oh, there you go. Argentina, another example. They only allow it with Spain. Hello to Vietnam. How's it going? I went to that. Did you see the video of me going to the Hanoi Moscow shopping mall? That was probably a month or more back now. I wish that was closer to where I live. I would certainly go back more often. Hello from Sweden. How's it going in Sweden? Sorry, I'm looking down at the chat and then I'm looking up at the camera. So if I'm doing that a lot. Cuckoo. I just moved the background a little, so it's a bit easier. Jenya just walked in, so you're not a native speaker, but you understand me well. Thanks. Any tips for my next trip? Is there any way to use a prepaid card in Russia? I took only cash, which was kind of annoying. Well, you can go to as a tourist, you could walk into a local bank and get a bank account. So like SberBank, the green card. I'm not sure which card your girlfriend had. But with a tourist visa, you can just walk in with your passport and get a SberBank card. They'll give you a temporary card on the spot. And then about 2 or 3 days later, you can go back and pick up a card with your name printed on it. You could then get that money changed and put it right onto your card. I think you could actually have done it right in SberBank, just give them the cash and put it on there. Or you could go to a money changer and then put the cash onto the card, like deposit onto the bank account. Then you can use that then for tap and go on the metro. You'd use that to pay for anything, anywhere. I'm not sure, maybe, did you do, I would imagine you did that or you didn't. So that's a good suggestion. Bring Tim Tams if you're from Australia. I don't know where you're from. Did you mention where you're from? I remember a rock band called Gorky Park, yes. And then also the Scorpion song as well is very famous. Do I run into Americans very often? I've literally run into a couple of them when I was at that tank tank exhibit. And that's only because I just heard someone speaking English that I chatted to them. I see 2 different people that I would say I ran into them literally because they were. When you go to events where there's more people, you're obviously going to start hearing people speaking other languages. And I'm not shy to just go up and say hello to somebody who's speaking English because we're in Russia, right? And that's it. I've seen a couple of other YouTube channels. They're Americans living in Russia, but I don't know them in person. Copa Libertadores. Oh, okay. I don't watch any of the Spanish. I think if you watch most of those, even on the live streaming that I watch here, they're not with English commentary. And even at the moment, watching the French Open tennis, for some reason, all the streams I'm watching aren't with commentary. And I kind of like that. You can understand Scots when they write. I'm not sure about multiple citizenships. It's interesting that some do and some don't allow it, though. Yes, today was warm as well. I don't know what the temperature is now still. 7 o'clock. It's probably still warm. It's very humid, actually. Let's see what my phone says. So it's currently 23. Look, the clouds coming over. A little bit of thunderstorms. I'm exactly in the middle of where there's no rain. So 27, 28 light winds. Is that tomorrow? Yes, 27 tomorrow, 26 on Sunday. No, yeah, 27. Wow. Nice weather all week. Looks like this thunderstorm kind of skies. Can I live a comfortable life or is it still a struggle? That's really very difficult to talk about publicly because it's kind of one of the taboo topics of YouTube that most or all YouTubers don't talk about YouTube. It's like Fight Club. I know when I was on the cruise ships with my other channel, I wasn't close to. I mean, the idea is to earn more than what your salary is. And I wasn't anywhere even remotely close to it with the cruise videos. I'd have to make a lot of content, to. The one challenge now, of course, is different countries of the world don't get shown ads. So there's no ad revenue from any Russian viewer. So if you're in Russia watching, you probably realize we have ad-free YouTube. And if you have a Russian audience, then you're kind of stumped a little with earning money from Russian views. Run a few short. So if I count a few of my short trips, suppose there is a bunch of them. Yeah, possibly. I mean, quite possibly. I met a couple of guys at the Crocus City when I went to this machinery expo. They were from Gambia. I kept thinking it was Zambia, and it was Gambia. Am I behind on the content? Or am I just not reading things quick enough? What's going on? Oh, right here. I wish I knew English. Well, that would help. Oh, that's okay. That's the wrong comment. That's the comment below that comment. In India, it's now, Russ 13. Hello. 50 degrees in India. That's roasting. I liked your trip to the flea market the other day. Yeah, so there's 2 flea market videos, if you've not seen both. One was Izmailova, which is it's called Izmailova Kremlin, which is this wooden kind of structure that's a bit of a tourist place to go to in Moscow, Izmailova Kremlin. And then there's the Vernissage, which is the kind of the flea market on the side of it that's got a lot of tourist souvenirs and Russian souvenirs. Pretty much, if you go to a trip to Moscow, you'll end up at Izmailova Kremlin. And then the one at Saltykovskaya, the last one I made, that was outside of Moscow, definitely. It was on the same train line where I live, though, so that was nice. So actually, if you watch that train review video of the Volga train, we would have gone past Saltykovskaya station because it was 4 stations from the end of the D4 line. Yeah, thank you, Frank. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, kind of a bit of a mixture of videos. The only thing is a lot of people don't know what's next. So will they click it? Won't they click it? Will it be interesting? So, but for the prize, the most annoying Pritsky. Scots then listen to. Okay, fair enough. Somebody's typing lots of Russian. I can't read this Russian, especially when it's so many things. I'm sorry. Yandex browser. Yeah, now I do the subtitles. You can't do subtitles on live streams though. But yeah, if you're watching with the Yandex browser videos, it's got the voice translation, which is pretty cool. The grammar is hard. Yes. I was waiting for rain now, but just clouds. We need rain for the garden. I think that's everybody, right? Everybody wants a bit of rain, and it clears the air too when it rains, right? It kind of, especially that humidity that you kind of get here in Moscow. Benvenuto Moscow walks. Navalenoids. How do you handle the encounter with? I don't know what navalenoids are. I have no idea what that word even means. So I miss you. Thank you, Sailor. I expect. Am I happy? I'm happy that I don't go to work every day, but YouTube really is work. It's a lot harder than. I mean, you can literally never leave this desk. Well, for me to film videos, I need to, right? But on my off days, I could never leave this desk and just keep doing things and tweaking things and improving things and making sure, even for the Telegram channel as well, I'm active there. Is Gorky Park the place where you went on that boat ride? No, the electric river tram was on. Okay, so if you go back to the older videos on the channel, there is the one where I went on Russia's cheapest river cruise, and there's a picture of a boat with 99 cents above it. It was like $1. It was 99 rubles. And I did the river cruise that went past Gorky Park. That was one of the original videos on the channel, one of the older ones. You can actually do, there's a ton of boats. If you might have noticed, I probably didn't show them enough in the last video there, but even in that afternoon, evening, there are so many boats going up and down the river. They kind of have about an hour to 2 hour boat ride that you can do, depending on the time of day. You know, you get different views with the evening light on and off and things like that. The electric river trams don't go past that area. They go to two other parts of, well, it's still Moscow, but just a little bit further away. It's on the same river, and just different parts of the center of Moscow. Yeah, the two different ones. The one that I did in summertime when the electric tram started, river tram, that was from Kiev railway station, or Kievskaya. And then the other one was from Pichatniki that I did when the winter one. Hello from Belarus. Buy Dr. Pepper. I can definitely buy Dr. Pepper. There is definitely shops, even at the market where I got my pork from today. They actually had Dr. Pepper in the store there. What your favorite city in Russia? Well, I've really only been to Moscow, and I've briefly visited St. Petersburg. I've been to Ufa, where my wife's from, a few times. So I know Moscow far more than other places. So I can't really say I've got a favorite place except where I live. I hope you're doing well. Fly Sky, hello. One of the long-time watchers of the channel. Thank you, everybody. Comment away if you like to. I'm pretty much caught up with the chat. It's quite rare that I'm ahead of the chat. We've been going for just over an hour. We'll probably either go for another 15 minutes or 30 minutes for the live stream, depending on if the comments keep rolling in. Yeah, 127 likes. Thank you. Whoever's posting their thumbs ups, thank you so much. And don't forget, if you do donation alerts, put something in the comment if you do, or a question. It would be just easier to keep doing anonymous, just for the fun of it, everybody. Even. Do you wish to visit some places you haven't? I would love to visit more places, Marco. It's a huge country, huge country. It's not even. I mean, even when I went to that supermarket opening, if you watched the Belarus supermarket opening video from 3 or 4 videos ago, I mean, we drove down there. It was about 4 or 5 hours south of Moscow, and we barely even left Moscow to go there. And you know, you just don't really grasp it, you know, until you get out on the open road, and then there's just nothing. There's, I mean, just green hills, forest, you know, bushland, and lots of nothing in between all these little cities. This summer with a family, we want to go, but are a bit concerned. Marco, mate, it's really up to you. I mean, would you feel any safer going to Paris for the Olympics? Would you feel safer going to New York and walking in the streets of Manhattan? Or going to Australia and walking in Sydney? I mean, I think I wouldn't let it worry you about, you know, if you're concerned about things, then, I mean, summer's beautiful. Well, this is not quite summer yet, but I mean, Russia is very old as a country. So when you come to cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, it's very architecturally beautiful. I mean, it's a big place to get around. I mean, Moscow is very connected with public transport. If you've got kids, maybe it's not as easy because you've got to worry about them running off and running around, and especially if you're going in the subways and the metro and stuff like that, and in the parks where it's busy with people. Only English. Well, I'm speaking English. Do I plan to learn Russian? I'm slowly learning it, but just not as quickly as I should. I don't know what a navalist, unless it's someone who likes belly buttons. I've got no clue what you're saying. So, about everyday things in Russia, there is a lot of interest in Russia. Right. Yeah, I wonder if a navalist is a person that likes belly buttons. Your videos are. Thank you, Emily. about everyday things in Russia. There is a lot of interest in Russia. Yeah, I mean, it's a very trending place or country, and the different people that are creating content in English. Obviously, some people have different views about the country and then different views about the country they're from. I mean, that's really up to them how they want to create their content, especially if I look at other Western people who are creating YouTube videos about Russia, who are either living here or visiting here. I mean, I don't really meet people who just come for a holiday and leave, to get their opinion of it, because it's, I'm not walking in the tourist spots or every day to kind of know or not. I mean, if I go to somewhere like in Red Square or that area, even when it's such a big place, you're not going to just hear someone chatting, David, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You're really very nice of you to do this. You're more than amazing guy, beyond giving donations on the channel here. It's the amount of things you put on the Telegram channel and everything that you do there is amazing. You're off to work. I wish that donation was bigger because you do deserve for the entertainment that you provide. Thank you. No, David, honestly, I just read that after you've posted the first part. Mate, honestly, you've got your dacha and you've got your wine. Once you've got your first harvest of wine, then yeah, you've got a lot of work cut out for yourself to fix it up and do whatever you're doing. This rototiller, I think it's called, that thing that cuts up the ground. What's the average salary in Moscow? That's very difficult. It's impossible to even judge that because everybody in Moscow is on a far different salary from each other. And the thing is, a lot of people can still live comfortably on a smaller salary here. What's difficult to compare, though, is, for instance, my phone bill, right? So my SIM card for my phone, it's about $7 a month. In Australia, it was $50 a month. So that's, even that's just one thing that I'm comparing. So where you might have a lower salary here, your general cost of living is also less, depending on what bills you have or how you're living and things like that. So it's very, it's like talking about Las Vegas, right? I mean, I'm sure someone that's on tips in the casinos or in the bars is earning better money than maybe someone working at Dillard's or at Walmart or at CVS, and it's all based on the amount of effort you put in and what you get out of it, I think. Once you get your head around the letter sounds. Duolingo, I've heard a few people talk about this. Scott, thank you for joining the live stream. You're so glad to see the live stream. Thank you so much. I keep glancing at both screens here. I'm sorry. In many countries, are people like Navalny? Mostly are with journalism background. I'm not sure of that question, Marco. I understand what you're saying, kind of, but... Oh, you went to Gorky Park because we saw your video on Gorky Park and we were really enjoyed. Yes, especially if you go later in the evening. That dancing kind of starts in the evening till dark, right? You can definitely go there at lunchtime. You can go there in the morning. At the moment, though, they're kind of digging up that walkway from where you would come from Park Kulture metro station. So you're going to kind of walk through the main entrance, which I showed in the video, and walk all the way down to the ponds and then across. And then you could actually keep walking and go all the way down to Vorovivo Gore if you walked along the embankment, away from the metro stations. There's a ton of walking. Even in my video there, I walked for a few hours and, I didn't show a whole lot of the park, but I showed the main bits that everybody kind of recognizes, I think. From your videos, it seems not. Yeah, look, sanctions affect banking. That's obviously a challenge where even we've talked about it with people coming to Moscow where they can't use their foreign bank card here. So that's a pain. You've got to bring cash, got to put it on a card or use it to somehow spend it. Those sorts of things are a challenge. I mean, where you can't get H&M clothes now or Uniqlo, maybe that's a different kind of a challenge. There's a lot of things that have not really changed that people think has happened here. The car industry is obviously evolving with more more Chinese brands, but that's everywhere in the world. There's Chinese brands coming into Australia. Australia as a country doesn't manufacture cars. And then you come to Russia and they manufacture Mercedes and they manufacture Hyundai and Kia, and they have other factories here. And they were using them for export. I've seen your posted videos first time live. Oh, France, thank you. Yeah, I did do a little bit earlier than normal. I mean, actually, the ideal time for live streaming is about 11 p.m. Russia time in the evening. So quite a few hours from now, I should have done the correct time. What do you miss the most about Australia? France, I get that question a lot. Francis Rose Caramel. I wonder if it's Francois. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, I miss family, miss home cooking, that sort of thing. Very silly things that I miss. I just talked about it earlier there. I don't miss the country. Living in Australia. I don't miss that part. I mean, I guess there's conveniences. The fact that I'm from there, I know where things are. I can get in a car and drive somewhere to do something. Whereas here, I've found my way around. I mean, I can go out completely on my own. Like yesterday, I went to the other side of Moscow to an event, came home, the day before the same. I mean, I came home on the train last night, 1, 2 in the morning. No problems at all. How about property prices changed in rubles in the last year, not foreign currency amounts? I don't think they have. I thought they would come down a lot in the last 2 years, and they haven't. Because people aren't in a sort of desperate need to sell properties. You'll find that a lot when you see things listed for sale and you offer a lower price. They're not bothered. I can just wait. There's not as much panic or as much, urgency to buy and sell places for a lot of people. I know when we were looking for our place, we weren't finding like crazy low prices that people are just giving places away. That's definitely not happened. Yeah, Google is good, right? It always tells somebody the average salary. Now, yesterday when I was at this future night or this retail night that I went to, it was during the day as well. You'll see in the video. The guy said to me, they said, "Do you know what the bike couriers earn in Moscow?" And I'm like, "Oh, I know approximately because I talked to a couple of them." And the actual bike couriers, or these couriers that wear those like square backpacks that go delivering things, they're earning far more than Google's monthly average salary. Yeah, this is kind of, this average salary is, I mean, this is somebody from one end of the salary scale to the other. And I mean, the thing is, even on, this is 85,000 rubles. I mean, you could rent an apartment, you could live well, I wouldn't say comfortably. You can live with $850 a month in Moscow, depending on which part of Moscow you live in, of course. Tazimo Park is the best place in Moscow. I think, especially today when hottest days are going, you can relax there and also feed squirrels. Do you know this park, Jen? Tazarinsko? Sino? Sarinsino Park. Jeez. Casino, yes, you do see people of color in Russia. Absolutely do. We're getting worried you didn't tell us about your wife in 3 whole videos. Are you guys okay? Jen, come and put your head in the video for 1 second. Oh, Jen is having, because she just came home, so she's just eating. So yes, she was jealous that I was at Gorky Park and seeing the dancing, and said, well, the thing is, she would come to Gorky Park for a walk with me, but with me not filming. So we could go for our own walk, just going without the camera. But for me to film and then her be with me, I've obviously got to stop and start and, walk backwards, start again, go around in the corner to film something. Yes, so she's definitely here. She walked past, well, very briefly when she came home. I don't have the monthly travel pass. I'm from Moscow region, by the way. So depending on if you're from Moscow or Moscow region, they've got different monthly cards that you can get. Like I've got the Troika right here. The Troika card. This is the one that I can use for actually on the train last night. I used this to get home. On the metro, I use it. You can use that on the river tram as well. And then I have one that's just pay as you go. So I just top it up every time I need to. But you can pay for daily, weekly, monthly, yearly if you want to. And it covers trains, buses, even the river trams. They're trying to basically make it all under one platform. Then you can actually also do, you can get instead of the card, you can get a ring that you tap on there. You can also do biometric. With the Moscow Metro app, you can link your information to that. And as you walk through the turnstile, there's a camera that reads your face and it opens the gate. Let's just do that. Teritsino, yes. Thanks, Moscow Walks. Yeah, a lot of students from different countries. That's true. Vladislav. Is that the same word that you've just written there? The name of the park? Yes. Well, I'll have to look it up now. My wife said she knows it, so. Yeah, the dollar against the ruble is a little bit hard to kind of judge because it's really what you earn and what you spend. It's not necessarily using the exchange rate as a guide for the economy. How is life in downtown in Aprelivka? Well, I guess I don't live near. I count the train station as the downtown. We don't have a downtown in Aprelivka. I guess Ulica Lenina Street to the train station. I just went to the shops at Kiev Highway, the Rynek there today. So it's perfectly fine. Very quiet. Lots of kids playing in the playground today. Lots of mums going for walks with their kids. $500 to $600 a month. There you go. Well, Dimitri, I'll tell you as a well, I guess you know the average salary, right? If you're from Russia, but the people at Kuzni Tochka or McDonald's is earning more money than the Russian average salary. No, people seem well dressed and respect a lot of each other. Yes. Well, everybody loves the Gorky Park video. And if I can do, well, I was going 2 days earlier. I was actually not at Gorky Park. I was at the park across the road. So if anyone does know Gorky Park, there's another park on the other side of the road or the highway, or the other side of the bridge. There's is it Krimskaya Bridge? And then there is Muzon Park. And I was going to make a video there, and then I kind of was a little bit tired by the time I got there to film. So I still had to walk around, but then I kind of went home. And then I decided to go back and do the Gorky Park video because I really like walking there as well. I hope to be a neighbor in the coming years. Istanbul and Moscow region, long live. Yes, well, if I stood outside my window long enough, I'd actually see Turkish Airlines land in Vnukovo Airport, which is down the road from where I live, literally. Um, where is enough to live? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cost of living in Russia depends heavily on which part of Russia you live in, and then not necessarily what salary you have, but what expenses you have. So you might live in a family member's apartment, so you don't have to pay rent or mortgage. All you've got to probably pay is electricity and water, because that's pretty common. Depending on the building, you may have gas as well. And then your phone costs, and that's it. You're not paying. I mean, if we didn't, if we lived in an apartment that was fully paid for, like a relative's apartment, for instance, we'd have virtually no bills. And then what you earn, you can then have more disposable income to spend, if that makes sense. Says it's dangerous to go to Mexico right now. You can't even go to Cancun. You can't go to Cozumel. If you have a look at the list of countries you can't visit from the US government website, you can't visit Bali, Indonesia. You can't go there right now. Can't go to Bali, can't go to Thailand, can't go to the Philippines. There is a long list of places that are far more in a different situation than here in Russia, I can assure you. I mean, if you're not outspoken, if you're not making some sort of a scene or you're here with some sort of an agenda, then you're just completely just another person on the street, honestly and truly. Yeah, we're open for everybody. Right. Russia's never closed. Even during COVID, the airports were open. You could fly in, fly out. There was obviously rules and guidelines to follow, but it wasn't really an issue or a big deal. So, interestingly, today, the video, I'm curious if the time has affected the amount of people watching the live stream. Where is that other function that I changed? Where is it? This one. Travel and events. Yeah, I put today's video as a category as people and blogs, not travel and events, which is my normal category of all my videos. I'm going to study University of Moscow. Do you think $400 without accommodation is enough? By the way, greetings from Turkey. 40,000 rubles a month. I mean, I guess it'll depend on where you live compared to where you're going to study. So you're going to have pay for transport. So you'll need a weekly or monthly card for the transport. You need a SIM card for your phone. That'd be probably a minimum you'd need. I guess you could. 4,000. And again, accommodation, it'll depend on where you might live. You may have to pay for electricity or water because maybe it's not included in the accommodation where you live. I'm not sure if Russia has illegal immigration. Russia's got a lot of borders with a lot of countries. I guess people still choose to cross the border to come to another country. Use the US dollar, and the average income is about 600 to 800. That is not enough for a family of 3. Yeah, I guess that really then mean family of 3, and you've got kids, and the cost for kids and food and maybe nappies and things like that. Absolutely. 400 mean that's 40,000 rubles, I guess, if I look at $400 a month. I mean, I guess it really factors in your accommodation and where you're going to live compared to where you're going to go to study. Safety is a fantasy, right? Russia is clean, nice people. People do not attack others for no reason, right? Utilities in transit, yes. Thank you, ALS. Absolutely, yeah. I agree with what you're saying completely. I mean, I even would talk about in Perth. I mean, I wouldn't typically catch a train or in the evenings in the city to go to the Perth in the city. The only trains I would catch in Perth was to go to the sporting events like the football. So I wouldn't even want to go into the city at nighttime. Perth, for instance, 5 or 6 p.m. everything closes. Perth is not a round the clock city. And there's, yeah, I agree with your statement completely. It's metro soon, and then housing will be and then house prices will be rising. Well, there's new metro stations opening everywhere. There's the one, is it Potopovo? It's on the red line. The red line that I catch has been extended a few more two more stations, I think. Yeah, I mean, New Moscow depends on how far you live out from the center of Moscow, from where you've got to go to school or work, and then that distance, that can be a factor. I mean, how much do you want to travel every day to go somewhere? My wife is Russian. A small city in rural areas, it's 300 to 500. No, it's not enough for living, especially for a family with a baby. Right. Well, that's true. 30 to 50,000 a month. I mean, if there's a Kuznary Tochka in a rural area, you're going to earn more than $500 a month. If you want to work in most supermarkets, it's higher salaries. And I just read the sign on the door of the supermarkets without even sort of checking whatever extra benefits they have or incentives and things like that. I mean, you got to remember also a lot of places where you work in Russia, you have meals included and lunches, or there's a canteen with very low cost meals. So that's not a factor that you're spending either. If you're going to work and there's a canteen there where it's included, there's a lot of benefit. You get discounts if you work at a supermarket, for instance. Roma. Galatasaray, same colors. Well, there you go. Thanks. Okay, everybody, we're going to go for another 4 more minutes. I think we're going to do an hour and a half live stream today. And 4 more minutes. I really hope you've enjoyed the live stream and just me chatting with you guys and answering comments. I really want to thank a few people who did super chats. Thank you so much to Peter and David, and also whoever did the anonymous on donation alerts. Thank you so much. I know when I do live streams, it's not necessarily a big part of the live streams. On other people's live streams, it might be. People, I guess, like other streamers more than me, and likewise, vice versa. So, I'm going to have. Well, I've got 3 videos that are going to be going on the channel in the next week. I'm not sure which one will be first because I filmed literally one yesterday and 2 the previous days. And then if we can go to some other parks and things like that, for sure tomorrow I'll go out somewhere to make a video. $1,500 for 30 days. I don't even know what that works out at. Calculator. $50, so it's 5,000 rubles a day. I would say not. Casino. Could you live on $50 a day going to Vegas? That's probably a good example or yardstick. That's $50. That's $50 a day. Could you go to Vegas without flights and, let's say, excluding even accommodation? Could you live on $50 a day in Vegas without flights and accommodation? I mean, I guess if you gamble or not, that's another X factor, but if it's like to compare Bangkok with skyscrapers and rural Thailand. Absolutely, yeah. Same with going to Bali and going half an hour outside of Denpasar. And you've got rice fields and, absolutely rural areas. People that go to Bali from Australia, right? They go to Kuta and Legian and all these tourist hotspots. And I'm the same. I go to Legian and Kuta. And then you go an hour or half an hour outside of these areas and there's absolutely minimal living conditions. But that's how people live. And people have chosen to live and can live and are happy to live. I'm not really knowledgeable too much about the social benefits. I know there's a lot of things in place for families and people with kids and a lot of activities and things like for the hospitals and the minimal cost of drugs and healthcare. So, yeah, I mean, got a boogie. Was in the hospital for a while. Oh, my gosh. Peace. I'll donate after I ask my kid how. Yeah, that's Yeah, there's a list of things in the description. So depending on where you are, right? It's um, very enjoyable chat. Thank you, Mario. I mean, I even like Bali's a good example of this. Of how much is the amount of money you need in Bali, and even $100 a day is pretty much a safe amount. For if you're not, depends on if you're factoring in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're going to go shopping, if you want to go on a little tour somewhere, it's a lot of little spendings. Do you want to apply ice creams? Do you want to get a drink somewhere? You want to stop for a beer? Russia is cheap, yes, but it can also be expensive. I mean, I can go out for the day. I mean, my wife will say this and joke about it a lot. I can go out for the day, just pay for my Troika card for the train and metro, which is pretty much less than $1 each way, $1 there, $1 back. And I can go and have some basic meal for $3 or $5, 300, 500 rubles, and I'm happy, But if I went to a sit-down restaurant, I can spend $10 or $20, 1,000 or 2,000 rubles or more. If I went two of us, $20, $30, $40, and that's reasonable place. And that's the thing. It's the cost of living in Russia is very varying. I mean, yesterday I went to this event yesterday, so I literally just spent on the train getting there, and then the train getting back, and then the taxi to the train station, because I just chose to get a taxi. But the taxi was $4. So, cuckoo. Yevgenia. Lots of misspelling of my name, Yevgenia. But it's okay. 2 S's and 2 L's. You can go to cheap restaurants, but not as a tourist. As a tourist, you have to take full advantage. I mean, yeah, it's a matter of finding places that are more reasonably priced for lunch and dinner and things like that. Think about how much you would need to go to Vegas for 30 days. And maybe if you wanted to go on a tour, if you want to go on an excursion somewhere, if you wanted to go to, I don't know, theme park, water park. I mean, you're not probably going to want to go walk in Gorky Park every day. You're going to want to go somewhere different. So think about what the daily amount you'd need. That'd be an interesting video for your channel, is how much do you need to come to Vegas? And there's so many factors. Yeah, there you go. Pushkin restaurant, which is one of the most expensive in Moscow, by the way. My top 3 meals. Pilmene. It's actually interesting. The food thing that I was at yesterday, we talked about this, about how many Russian dishes there are, how many actual Russian dishes. Because a lot of dishes that you make here aren't necessarily Russian. So, yeah, hotel location. Yeah, I mean, if you take a metro 15, 20 minutes from outside of the center, so you're paying only $1 each way on the train to save money on the cost of a hotel. Even the different hotels by Arbat Street are very varying in price, even if you're one street off the main road. So okay, I'm gonna head out of here. I can hear my wife has put the ribs in the air fryer. So I think probably the next 15 minutes I'll be having something to eat. So I really hope you've enjoyed the live stream, everybody. Thank you for everybody who did a thumbs up. I live in my wife's apartment. Wow. Thank you so much. So I don't care. I do care because I still have to pay bills. How do you think we earn money between us, right? We have to pay the bills. Still got a water bill, still got electricity bill, still got a phone bill. If I want to go to the dentist or the doctor, there's still going to be a bill if we choose to go to private doctors or dentists and things like that. Yes, I actually went and bought the ribs, but she's preparing them. Thank you, Russell, and thank you, chat, for answering my questions. No worries. Casinos for the environment, for the women, for the music. But to gambling, not so much. Casinos are a win at the end. Absolutely. I'll take well, I don't know if they're very photogenic. I tend to post a lot of photos on my Telegram channel. So if you follow me on Telegram, let me put the link in the description if I can find it. Where is the link? Right here. Actually, I even put a photo of the ice cream that I had before the live stream started. I can't really show you the ribs because it's in the other room and they're still cooking. I can hear the air fryer working. I keep wanting to go on an air grill. Keep up the good videos. Thank you, Barney. Cheers. I appreciate the kind words. If anyone has Telegram, it's very similar to WhatsApp. If you've not heard of Telegram before, it's very similar to WhatsApp. Obviously, two people need it to communicate with each other. So if you're going to get it and you want to chat to somebody else, you've got to know that they've got an account. Thank you, Sirio, or 7 Euro. Thank you. Lots of people commenting who I don't see commenting on the chat, but then are here at the end or the beginning. So thank you so much. Again, I want to thank people for the thumbs or likes. If anyone wants to post a comment on this video after it finishes, you're more than welcome to post a comment there, and I'll do my best to reply to as many comments as I can. Mario, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, channel member. Yes, sorry, I know I started earlier. I did give a couple hours notice for the start of the live stream. Sorry, Paula. You can always watch it on replay. Thank you for being a channel member too. Yeah. So yeah, this donation alerts, thank you. The super chats, thank you. This is the last calendar day of the month, but obviously the videos keep coming on the video channel. I think I also went to the motorbike expo on, well, it was last week. Well, now it's Friday, so it was on Sunday. Was it Monday? Sunday or Monday, I went to the motorbike. There was a motorbike rally, but you don't really see that part because obviously I'm not riding a bike. Thank you, Paula. Yes. Casio. That's what my parents called the casino in Perth, the Casio. They're going to go to the Casio to the casino. Yep. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. See you on another live stream. Keep watching old videos if you want to watch something before midnight tonight. I'm trying to finish the calendar month off with lots of views. Yeah, I guess it's impossible to create those averages. I mean, for me, I work it out on what rough amount of money per day. Is it raining? It is so raining. Is it raining outside, Jenya? Not yet. I'm going to show you. Oh, the plastic Russian. Yes. All the ribs aren't ready yet. Hello and bye. Yeah, I kind of went a few minutes over. Let me have a look what's happening with the rain. Let's press this. So it's a bit hard to see, but you can see Moscow over here. I'm in this. You can see Vnukovo Airport, like that. You can see everybody's umbrellas where they've marked that it's definitely raining. So let's see. I think we're going to miss the rain. I think. So it's in the north. It's kind of Moscow, and then on the northeast of Moscow. So I'm going to miss the rain. Oh, Oleg, hello. Oh, yeah, Chris, Plastic Russian is here. If anyone wants to watch a British person in Moscow, Oh, you've been in the swimming pool. Now I want to go for a swim. That's the one thing. Actually, what do I miss about Australia? Going around to my sister's house and swimming in a pool on a hot day. That's what I miss. Just that. I can't think about it here in Aprilica because the only pool we've got is the public pool at the sports center, and it's an indoor chlorinated pool. And you know how strong and chlorinated they smell if you remember them from England and when you were younger, right? Yes, Plastic Russian lives outside of Moscow. But he's definitely got a swimming pool. If you want to watch his channel, is in the swimming pool. Not bad a life they have in Russia. Yes. But Plastic Russian lives on the Black Sea coast. Black Sea coast, I think, right? So he lives in a different part of Russia to where I am. Even it's not that far, but it really is. And geographic, weather-wise, it's completely different because he's much further south geographically. So it's much nicer weather. So, by the way, Oleg, if you are on Telegram, Plastic Russian has a Telegram channel and chat as well. So, same weather. Well, a couple of degrees warmer here in Moscow. We don't have the green grass and a swimming pool out the back door, though. Yeah, so if anybody wants to join Plastic Russian on YouTube or his Telegram, and then I'll be on my Telegram as usual after the live stream ends. Okay, everybody, I'm out of here. I can smell the ribs cooking as I get to the end of the stream. All right, I'll see you, everybody, in another live stream. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy future videos or past videos that you're watching. Maybe if you want to click something else to watch now, for instance, go back to the oldest videos first and have a look at some of them just for nostalgia's sake. 2 years ago. Okay, everybody. Bye. Bye.